So boys, so I've been seeing a lot of these videos starting to go around about DRG's content drought. You know, how the content isn't really as hitting as it used to. Now, mind you, I've only been in the game for 6, maybe 7 months. And that's just enough time for me to start to figure out that this game really doesn't have as much content as it may seem. Now, don't get me wrong, the community is super nice, like one of the best communities ever, right? But see, what comes with that is that there usually comes no criticism, and people tend to become yes men to the devs, or you know what I mean, and become not fazed by anything that's happening, because you know the community has such a great community and everybody's so happy, you know what I'm saying? And with that being said, with some other games, or they may have toxic communities, but those communities, as well, as much as they are toxic, they give bad criticism to the people creating the games. They literally force, like when I say force the devs or whatever to change up the game in the ways that works best for the game, it ends up working. Like the relationship between like the players and the devs end up sparking new things for, you know, that specific game, or making it so that that game can improve as like the players want, or you know what I mean? It's just like content wise, like I've seen it a lot to where players would not let up on the devs not once, and eventually the devs make a change. And you know what I'm saying, not to say like GSG is like not doing anything or anything like that, it's just like everybody is so nice, there's nothing to be said besides, oh, great job, you know what I mean? And if that's the case, then the game's already like perfect, you know what I mean? And no game out there is perfect. There's always room for improvement. There's always way better things that could happen to the game. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, if we want DRG to stay alive, a long-lasting game, we need the devs to start thinking about, maybe, how should I say this? Not like way more content, but like we need content that's going to be long lasting and not so rinse repeat, you know what I mean? Like new generated biomes, whatever, like every mission, sure, like that's cool, you know, that still changes up a lot. But when you play the game for at least 100 hours, 200 hours, 300 hours, like the game's, it starts to feel like there's nothing to do, you know what I mean? And this is a game where I want to be able to sink thousands of hours into it, you know what I mean? And it's just not looking like it's going to be that type of game, you know what I'm saying? Because there's not enough content in the game. Sure, there's the overclocks, yeah, but like I said before, like I already have every single overclock that I think I would want, you know what I mean? So it's like I really don't know, you know, what else there is for me to do besides just go in there and kill glyphids all day and just do stuff over and over and over and over and over again. There's a lot of small things in DRG that make it really great, right? Like the voice lines, beards, you know, the drinks, the beers, like they keep everything interesting, like how you could get drunk on a mission, like all that keeps the game very interesting. Besides that, when you really look at the game, there's really nothing. There's really nothing to the game as far as that. You know what I mean? Like as far as the elite deep dives or the regular deep dives, like there's nothing after that, you know? Once you do your deep dive and your elite deep dive, that's it. You know, you can wait until the next one to drop and then play it again, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just wanted to touch up on how we really need to start not pressuring, but start just trying to throw out ideas as a community, you know what I'm saying? Like for the devs to start to incorporate new things that aren't so small, like the arcade game. Like I was watching a couple DRG videos from some tubers, and they were talking about how it's kind of crazy how most of the update is surrounded by the arcade game, like the Flappy Bird arcade game, like the jetpack thing, and how, like, you know, we only got one or three enemies, but they're basically just reskins, but except for the one enemy who's just like walking around as the lithophage thing or whatever. Like that's cool and all, but that's it after that. And we waited 6 months. 6 months. I joined when season 3 dropped, and everybody was like, oh yeah, it's a perfect time to start playing, because you could check out the content and stuff like that. I've literally caught up low key, besides not like promoting too high, but that's like, that's way hours in. Besides that, yeah, it's all just, that's it after that. It's just the enemy, the Flappy Bird machine, and that's it. There's nothing. It's just gonna be the same game for the next 6 months until season 5, and hopefully season 5 might bring in like way more content or way more types of gameplay that we can get into that's a lot more deeper than what we have now, because what we have now is just a wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And you guys might think I'm like being super negative about this, but no, I want the game to succeed. I want the game to become that game that I can play for hours and hours. But as of right now, it's just not that game. There's so much that goes in, and I'm sure it's not hard making. I'm sure it's hard, developing a game and making content for the game and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure it's very, very hard, but I don't know, boys. This is just something that needs to be said. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to throw dirt at GSG or anything, because I would never. Like, they're amazing. I just want the game to be better than what it is right now, because you bring in these new players and immediately they think, oh snap, like this game is huge, like this game is. That's how I was when I first started playing. Like, I was thinking like, damn, this game is crazy, dude, like there's so much to be doing and stuff like that. But after 100 hours, 200 hours in, you're like, wait, is there anything else really to do? You know what I mean? So I don't know. And I really don't have ideas as to like what they could do to add more content. I'm sure there's like a lot more people who have been playing DRG for years that could, spread some ideas that maybe would help improve the game's content system. Because as of right now, like I said before, it's not looking good at all, boys. It really isn't. If you're one of those gamers who likes to drop thousands and thousands of hours on games, like, this game is not looking good. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there are people out there with thousands of hours in DRG, but they've been playing since the beginning, so it's a lot different. But this has a lot to do with just the content and what we really need. What do you think? What do you think the game needs?
What I texted you, I think would be cool. I know it's not really like adding anything to the game. I just think that it would be cool if they added a shooting range in the hub, so that you could like test like mods, not in a mission.
Right. Yeah, that's something that would definitely be
something about shooting range and FPS is always cool. It's just like, oh, like they just got like the shooting range, like
right. Yeah.
I don't know. Every class only gets 6 weapons, huh? 3 primaries, 3 secondaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, every class could use a new weapon.
Yeah, sure, but I feel like weapons. Well, I mean, weapons are fine, but
new mission type.
Yes, like what we really, really need is new, like, things to be played in, like, you know what I mean? Like there's not enough variety,
I have to look at all mission types, and they got it by like logo too, right? Let me see. Yeah. All right. Like, because by looking at all the mission types, we can like create a new mission type. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, type. Yeah. So there's Doretta missions. There's refinery missions, there's aquatic missions like minehead missions, and then there's dreadnought missions, and then there's what's the last one? A caretaker mission, right? That's it. That's all the missions that they have. We need more in-game events that happen, like not just like the meteor stuff. Like, it needs to be more impactful things that happen inside the missions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, it's annoying when every time something happens, it's literally just a meteor thing.
Right, exactly, over and over and over again. And it boggles my mind that 6 months later, all they came up with was arcade game, jet boots, and a walking lithophage meteor. Like, like that
Yeah,
boggles my
dude.
fucking mind, dude.
6 months. For some reason, the website don't have the Aqua mission. I wonder why. Was the Aqua mission added later?
I'm not too sure. Probably was like a little bit, but
I think it was, yeah, because on the fandom website. Oh wait, no, I'm tripping. It's here.
yeah,
Point
like,
extraction is
yeah,
Aqua.
point extraction. Yeah. Now, somebody was saying in one of my comments of my other videos too was that they should add like a heist mission like for gold or something like that. Like that would be interesting.
Ooh, what if they added a fucking survival mode to DRG,
Yeah, so
bro?
that should have been in the game.
Yeah, dude.
That should have.
That would be so dope.
Should have been like
Left
in the
4
game.
Dead has survival mode, like, you know.
Yeah, like that's a mode that's like no brainer. You know, like that's something that
dude.
people would spend hours playing. You know, like that's a no brainer mode, right?
Most definitely, yeah, bro. Like that would be so cool if like you just drop in and like
You just have to survive. That's it. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's it.
You get more rewards as like the longer you survive, the harder it gets. You know what I'm saying? It could
Yeah,
start
bro.
to go
'Cause
up.
why
in
is
hands.
like XP grind in DRG like a little bit too slow?
Oh, it's not that it's slow. It's just you need to play like higher tier missions for it to be like high. Like elite deep dives will get you like leveled up like twice.
What about if I do it on Has 4?
Has anything under has 5 isn't gonna give you too much.
So you're saying I gotta unlock Has 5 and start? Because I do like Has 4 better than 3, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice little challenge up from the regular has it or whatever.
More
Yeah.
in-game earnable cosmetic. Can we get beyond Mark 5?
No, we can't. That's it.
What I'm saying is that they need to add more than Mark 5 to each class.
Yeah, they need to add more armor types, way better looking cosmetics, because I mean the cosmetics were cool at first, but they don't have any like value in them. Like, you know what I mean? Like in World of Warcraft, you'll see that there's like thousands and thousands of cosmetics, but they actually have like, you know, some type of value in them. You know what I mean? Like they're not.
I think it would be cool to see lore in DRG, but like I think a lot of people would argue against that.
Lore is always nice because it adds more of a atmosphere element to the game.
Get more attached, bro. Like imagine if RU4 like there was no story mode and it's just like
see, that would be corny as hell. Like you wouldn't know. Like you'd just be. I mean, the game would still be fire because you're just going around killing bananas all day. But
look, it's RU4.
we definitely need more enemy types in DRG
we
too.
should be getting in a bud. They have 6 months to be working on in between. You know how many other game companies are adding boatloads of content with a 6-month season break period? Are you kidding me, dude?
Right, exactly.
There is no excuse. What's the DLC for Deep Rock?
The DLC, the only DLC is the cosmetic DLC. That's it. There is no DLC. Like
there is no DLC for Deep Rock. That's so corny, bro. We need more biomes too.
Yeah, more biomes would be nice. Maybe even an outer space type of mission, or maybe even like something.
Yeah, repair the satellites for the fucking space station, or it's gonna crash into Hoxies.
Right,
and
like
if you don't do it, that's what happens. The whole space station.
Like that would be so awesome. Like imagine like a mission where like it's like probably like this would probably be like a super end game mission, but like something breaks out on like the drop pod or something, or like, you know what I mean, or something happens on the drop pod and just like
let us see the rest of the space shuttle too. I know it's a big area, but you're only in that tiny little like hangar bay.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you can see the space station from the loading screen, bro? We're on a big ass space station.
No, it's
bro.
like some Warhammer shit too.
It's fucking gigantic, bro. And then if you look close, like the giant like glass that you can go up and walk to, if you look on the loading screen, like you're at the very bottom of this, like that's the size of like New York City or something, bro. Like maybe not that big, but it's definitely the size of like.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
The game does need more. They should also have like in-game cutscenes would be cool. But they have to do lore for that. That's what they need. In-game cutscenes a little bit where like yo, they should do a fucking they need to up their trailer game too, bro. They should be having a fucking not in-game like animated trailer, but like an animated trailer with the dwarves all like talking to each other, bro, and like using all like their first guns and like default clothes and like fuck it up.
Yeah, tight.
To promote the new trailer, bro, or the season. Feel like they're in the mindset of, oh, well, Fortnite has the season every season, so if we do it, we're fine. It's like, no, dude.
Right. And I was saying this before.
The community needs to demand more and say delay the season, or season 5 better be good, or we're not playing your game anymore and your game's gonna die permanently.
That's what I'm saying. Like the community is way too nice.
Bro, you gotta get back on the PoE grind, bro, and become Precipk of PoE and not Precipk of DRG.
For PoE. I mean, it's PoE has loads more content to be doing. I mean, there's loads more content, loads more maps to be running, loads more stuff to be doing, honestly. And, you know, it would just make sense to play like something like that, low-key, but...
X-Men Legends, full playthrough, 2-hour video. But everyone will watch it.
I love
views.
But see, the thing is, like, I love DRG, but it's just, there's nothing in the game. Like, there's nothing. There's no incentive to do anything, you know? Like, there's like,
I was gonna ask you, like, after you unlock all the classes' weapons, what is there really to actually do and work towards after you get their weapons? Nothing.
But overclocks, I was saying this before too, I have every single overclock that I think I would ever want. Like, I'm pretty sure I got all the busted overclocks so early that, like, now that I've built them, it's like, well,
I'm low-key kind of lucky for getting that cryogun one, huh? So early.
Yeah, no, the cryogun one is really good.
Oh, dude, like, well, this already goes in the cosmetics, but like that modded where your skin can be more clay,
right?
Or true.
That should be in the game. All that should be in the game already.
It should be in the game already, bro. Why, like these devs can't let the modders like take steal their thunder.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when the mods get to be better than the actual game, that's when the game is like, you know what I mean? That's when you know the game is in like sort of like a, how are these modders doing it better? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
That's true.
You have games like Left 4 Dead, freaking Payday 2. Like, all these games have great modding communities, but the devs of the actual games continue to put out content for those games that continue the longevity of those games. You know what I mean? Like, and no matter what, like, the game will always have such a big, you know, those games will always have like such a big fan base because there's always something new to do. There's always like something new every time you hop in. When you hop in DRG, sure, the biome might be randomly generated, but it's the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is, bro.
And it's not like the game gets any harder unless you want to put mods on to increase glyphid numbers and stuff like that. But like,
yeah, and that's another thing. Like, they need to have that in the game too. It should go past Has 5 non-modded. What the f are they doing?
Right.
Like, actually,
all I know is that if DRG doesn't get more content soon, like, and I'm telling you, like, this next 6 months better be like the craziest 6 months at DRG ever, because if it's not, and season 5 releases as something just like how this one is about season 4 is about to release, is over. It's over.
Yeah, bro. Like, how can they think it's acceptable to add something that's already in the game? This rocket boots really, the community really needs to roast them. It's like, you guys literally added the same thing that is already available to the players in the game. Are you kidding me?
Right. It's ridiculous. It is. And I don't know why or what made them think like, oh yeah, rocket boots. that's actually going to increase the gameplay longevity for years to come. No, bro, like we need actual like longevity systems.
Trying to see, that's a bad comparison because the games are totally different. But I'm trying to think what R6 has done and is doing to stay alive for so long.
Well, R6, see, the thing about that is they continually update the game. They update the UI, they update the sites, they update the weapons, they update they have massive amounts of skins. They're into esports. They have they update the maps, they rework the maps, update, you know, the abilities. They do all that stuff. They add new operators like a lot. They add they add
new abilities DRG.
They update
more armor mods.
Yeah, and the thing about R6 too is that regardless if you're hopping in that map, everything's going to be different, like how you engage in with people, you know what I mean? It's not going to be the same thing over and over again every time you hop into a game of R6. It's always different. You know, there might be a new peak you discover, there might be a new way you get killed by somebody and you're like, oh, I gotta learn how to do that. Or like, you know, it's so much, there's so much difference in the games that you play over and over and over again. Like, it's not the same thing over and over and over again, which is why R6 is still so alive but dead at the same time.
Yeah, what's up?
But yeah, boys, this is just something that needed to be said, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to get on right quick just to improve on the things that I was saying, just to give some more insight about what should be done in DRG. It's not, like I said, we're not trying to be super negative about it. We're just talking about the things that need to be done if the game is to survive. But there it is, boys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please throw me a like, bring down on that sub button. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. What are your thoughts? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, boys.